Burning Oak Studios has partnered with Artsy Magazine to bring you exclusive coverage of the arts.
Hello, my name is Benjamin Farrell with Artsy Live. Thank you for joining us online today. We have a special guest with us, Catherine C. Lloyd. She's the curator of the Maria V. Howard Art Center at the Imperial Center in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Catherine, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, Ben.
How did you come to be involved with the Art Center?
I started graduate school at East Carolina University in the year 2000, just after Hurricane Floyd. And most of Rocky Mount had sort of been decimated at that point, and their art center had been decimated as well. So I heard all through grad school about the restructuring of that and was very interested in that. I finished grad school, I left, and then heard again that the center was about to reopen. They had gone into this wonderful new facility, and I knew the director there at the time and was very excited about the opportunity to work with him as well. And so I applied and was lucky enough to be able to come to the center. I started as their education coordinator and then moved into the curator position a year later.
What is the Maria V. Howard Art Center?
It is a visual and performing arts center. Started in 1957, so it's got quite a long history. But we have 9 gallery spaces and a community theater that seats 303 and a large arts education space as well. So we teach classes and workshops. We do international exhibits, national exhibits, local exhibits, pretty much run the entire gamut.
What is the mission of the Art Center?
In a nutshell, we're trying to sort of expand the knowledge of artists and art enthusiasts throughout the community, and we're building a bridge to the arts through creation and through innovation and through imagination, and that's sort of where our programming kind of runs into as well.
As the curator, what is your role in making that mission a reality?
I get to work with fantastic artists from all over the country and right in our backyard as well. And my role is to secure the exhibits for the gallery spaces. I also work with our theater and with our education. We partner a lot between the three of us. Educational programs will support the visual arts that we have, the exhibits that we have, and then the theater, we've actually done exhibits of our theater, their costumes and sets and that sort of thing. So we kind of try and help each other out quite a bit.
So what is the role of the Art Center within the community of Rocky Mount?
We have an interesting role. The Art Center is actually owned and operated by the city of Rocky Mount. We're part of Parks and Recreation. So that's very unique for an art center to function that way. And Parks and Recreation always serves their community within the city, which our tour programs do. We sit on 2 counties, Nash and Edgecombe County, so we service both of those school systems. But one of the special tasks that the Art Center has is actually to help bring people in to Rocky Mount. So not only visitors and economic growth and cultural growth, but tourism and all that sort of thing as well. And so we have an interesting kind of dual purpose in that we are exposing our community to influences from outside as well as showcasing our community to those people who come in from outside.
Tell me some of the programs you have currently at the Art Center.
One is the MARC program, Making Art Real to Kids. And when all of the funding went away for schools to go on field trips, we were actually approached by the NEA and asked if there was anything we would like to do, and we said pay for buses to get kids here. And they thought that was a great idea. So those kids come and they go through stations. So they actually tour the galleries, and they also do a hands-on project. They meet a living working artist, and they do something in the theater. So it's really a great opportunity for them to get a full rounded experience in the arts. And out of that, we grew an adult tour program that is geared exactly the same way, and it's a fantastic opportunity both for people who know their way around the arts but want to see what all is going on at the time, and for people who are afraid of the arts, those that have never walked into a gallery before, never attended a performance before, and they really kind of want to have somebody take them through by the hand, and so we do exactly that.
What has been some of the feedback you've received from the new guests?
Yeah, fantastic feedback. Adults, they're busy, and so it's difficult to get them in there. But one of the great things is both of those programs are completely free. And we do classes and workshops and all that kind of stuff all the time, and those have a fee base to them depending upon what they are. But visitors can come into the Arts Center free anytime, but actually having a guided kind of immersion tour like that is not something you usually get for free. So, and that's actually what we call the adult version, is arts immersion.
So going back a little bit, the name Maria V. Howard, how did the Arts Center come to bear her name?
We were originally the Rocky Mount Arts Center and had been since 1957. Maria was a founding member when the community first started the Arts Center before the city stepped in. She was a founding member of the Arts Center. She was very involved in the theater. We have a performance called Christmas Chorus that she did every year. She was also very interested in the visual arts. She was a painter. She did decoupage. She was active in the garden club like crazy, and so she was sort of a founding member and always a big supporter of the Arts Center. She passed away last fall, and she was generous enough to remember us in her will as a priority in Rocky Mount, and so we were renamed in her honor.
You mentioned that the Arts Center has moved. Tell us where it was before and how it came to be moved.
In the early 60s, they were in a water tank that was a railroad-associated water tank that they had purchased, the city and some community members had put together. And it was a 3-story round water tank, pretty cool. One floor was galleries, one floor was the theater, and then a small brick building that was education space. In 1999, Hurricane Lloyd came through eastern North Carolina and pretty much said, I'm taking it all. So it took care of that. It also took care of the theater they had built about 4 years beforehand, a new on-site but larger facility. And so it also wiped out some other cultural organizations in the city, and all the stars were aligned. All the city officials got together and really started looking at it and thought, well, instead of rebuilding these little pockets, let's put together a cultural center. So the Imperial Tobacco Company of England and Ireland was available at the time, and so they renovated this wonderful, gorgeous old building, and it's a factory and warehouse area, so brick and the big, heavy, ductwork and all that kind of stuff. And so we moved into there in 2006.
What does the future look like for the Arts Center?
Always upward and onward, I think, is sort of the goal for us. And we're bringing in some major exhibits, some national exhibits, and partnering with some other museums. Like we're partnering with the Charles M. Schulz Museum in a couple of years and bringing in the Peanuts Naturally exhibition. So it's really nice to be bringing in some major exhibits from other museums. But programming, we're always trying to top ourselves.
What are some of the things you're doing to broaden the awareness of the Arts Center?
We're visiting you today on Artsy. We're trying to get the word out even more, and it's kind of one of those things when you have an economic downturn and you move, that's like two killers for anybody to try and get the word out about where you have moved to and who you are and what you're doing. But we've seen a wonderful pickup in the past year and a half, which, with the way things are going, that's phenomenal. And so now we're actually doing those email blasts about when things are coming up, a little email newsletter, just sort of here's what's going on not only here but in the community. And so we're really building sort of a critical mass, I guess, not only with ourselves but with the city and with other organizations within the community.
There's been a lot of talk in the news about the state budget. Have there been any budget cuts that have affected the Arts Center?
We are extremely lucky that the city officials kind of saw this coming at some point and were very frugal and very ingenious in sort of pack-ratting away so that for the rainy day, which has come. We have seen some budget cuts, but we're extremely lucky to be seen as a priority within the city and within the community. So, we're not in danger, I would say. And we have a fantastic community base that chips in as well. Hardee's has been a huge supporter and has given us some donations towards some productions and some other community members. And we have a Friends organization that's a nonprofit attachment that raises money to help support things like receptions and special needs, and also they provide money for our Juried Art Show awards.
How can people watching today find you on the web?
Imperial Center, that's R-E, not E-R, .org/arts.
Catherine C. Lloyd, I want to thank you so much for joining us today on Artsy Live. It's been a real pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us at Artsy Live. To subscribe, you can visit us at artsymagazine.com. I'd like to thank Catherine Lloyd for joining us again, and we'll see you next time.